welcome back to another Social Divas. So today we are going to be talking to at least one of the oldest unsolved case in Singapore, which this case happened in the year 1972. We're going to be talking about the Queenstown sniper shooting I won't say accident, but incident. So it's in the afternoon of the year 1972, 22-year-old Malaysian seamstress Chen Li Zhen was walking with her 19-year-old sister Li Bao along Commonwealth Avenue. Both were heading to a nearby shopping center. So approaching Queen's Circus without any warning, Zheng screamed and collapsed to the ground. Bao and the surrounding passerby were shocked by what they are seeing. Zheng screaming in agony with blood gushing out of the wound of her chest. So this is something that I want to clarify. Nobody had heard the gunshot, and even nobody seen the bullet either. How do I say that? Obviously nobody can see the bullet if it's going 100 miles per hour, but the only one that I can say is that nobody actually heard the gunshot go off. So a passing by police car responded to the commotion and attended to Zheng. Zheng was immediately sent to SGH, the Singapore General Hospital, when X-ray diagnosis revealed that she was wounded by a bullet. My only question, I think maybe during that year, if in the 21st century, if someone gets shot, if you see, if someone comes in and you see blood literally gushing out of the body, you don't go straight to an X-ray. You go to see where she's bleeding and probably go straight into an emergency surgery and not take an X-ray, because it is a life or death situation, for at least for the person. The bullet had pierced Zheng's upper left chest and struck her heart after ricocheting off one of her ribs. After 11 hours of unconsciousness, Zheng was pronounced dead in a hospital. And now we are going to go into the investigation, because there is, like I said earlier, there's not a lot of we don't really know how the bullet came out in the first place. So the incident dominated Singapore's headlines for weeks. Many were shocked by the randomness of the shooting and feared that it may happen again if the shooter fails to be apprehended. Hundreds of Queenstown's residents were interviewed and dozens of registered guns owned by civilians underwent ballistic tests, yet there was no concrete evidence can be found. In spite lack of evidence, it was generally agreed among firearm experts that the bullet was fired from a pistol or a revolver at close range due to the accuracy of the shot. But the only problem with that is that Zhen's sister um, says that there was nobody in front, unless the sister shot Chen, but then all the passerby would have A, heard the gunshot, and B, heard the and saw the sister put the trigger, and C, the police car that went past would have arrested Bao anyway. So the fact that the sister wasn't arrested shows that Chen's sister wasn't the murderer, and like the police said, if the police car was just around the corner, there is no way the police would have not seen the person who pulled the trigger, and between the time Chen was shot and the police car pulling up, the person would have been caught anyways. So now to the theories. So the first theory posits that Chen was killed by a nemesis who she was provoked at work, and in a fit of anger, her nemesis hired a gunman to kill Chen. It is suggested that the gunman sniped from the window of a high-rise flat, hence the lack of eyewitness. The second theory suggested that it was simply an unfortunate case of an accidental discharge. It may have come from a gun owner who was cleaning a rifle at his flat, the nearby police reserve unit, or a passing vehicle. Why are you cleaning a gun in a passing vehicle anyways? And the third theory speculated that this case was a case of mistaken identity, and that her younger sister was the target. Instead, it was said that Bao had a scuffle days before the shooting with an admirer who she rejected. Even that, if the how can the admirer not recognize Bao from Chen? If I am walking with my sister, who may be 3 years older than I am, we may look alike, but we still look very different in so many ways. So the mistaken identity, for me, I think it is totally out of the question. And cleaning the rifle in the passing car, for me, that is totally out of the question, because if you're driving the car, right, and you have one hand on the steering wheel, one hand on the cloth with the gun, how are you going to clean the gun while one hand is on the steering wheel anyways? And Queenstown, depending which part of Queenstown it is, there is a lot of there is roads that has the curve on it. If we are talking about the straight road, okay, I understand, but your eyes is gonna be locked on the road, so I don't see, even if you are cleaning the gun, the pistol will be pointing at your face and not out the window.